Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to GoodKnit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen, and today we are working on the Potholder loom. Again, we have been working in a series. We have done a weave. This is the weave style. Then we did a houndstooth or pinwheel. Some people call it a hopscotch. So it's got a couple of different names out there. And then last week we did this 3-color, a larger plaid. And this week we're going to work on a different plaid. This is also a 3-color plaid. And so I've got all my materials ready here. We did kind of a Christmassy theme this week, and we did the fall when I did this one. And then we had kind of a summery one here. So this one's just, I just thought these colors would be fun together. All right, so think buffalo plaid when you see this. I'm not using the classic wine, red and burgundy or wine color and black. I'm just using this blue and then a lighter blue, and then I have this kind of coral color. So we'll see how this one works out. I'm just working with the colors I have. So I've got 18 pegs down and across, and so on the ones that I'm going to pull across, I'm going to work with all the same color. Okay, then the ones that I'm going to put vertical, I'm going to space them every other one. So I need 18 of one color. We're going to be pulling those across the same every row, and then we're going to do every other color, every other peg here in 2 different colors. So I've got a light blue, so it sort of complements this one. And then I've got just another color. So this one is my coral. Okay. And so I'm just going to put these on alternating. So we've got 9 of the secondary colors, 9 each. So light blue, coral. Doesn't matter the order you put these in, just make sure that they are every other one. So it doesn't matter like what sequence you're laying them, just make sure that they're on the right peg. So I just started with the light blue first, which complements this color over here. And then the coral is to give me a nice contrasting pop. I'm really enjoying this series. I hope you're enjoying it. Be sure and comment below if you do. I have about 4 or 5 more pot holders that I'm going to be doing. We've got links in the previous videos. We don't have anyone giving us links today, but if you're interested, this loom is the large pot holder loom from CindWood Looms. The loops are from CindWood as well, but you can also get a larger quantity of them from Harris. Okay, so every other one. Now we're just going to start pulling these across, going over, under, or under, over, all the way across. I'm going to move this up in just a moment. So I'm putting my dark blue under all my light blue on this round. And I'm just going to slide it here. All right, let me put this here so I can reach it a bit easier. Same thing. So we're just alternating. So now I've got my coral on top. And as you've seen in the other videos, we're not twisting. We'll make sure that these don't twist over each other. We want them nice and flat. Just a reminder, this is what we did last time. So both worked with the 3-color design, but they're going to be different. So this one's going to have a very small checkered look. And on Facebook Watch, we will do a playlist of all the pot holders after this series. So if you want to share this video, I'll go back and try and put the links to in each video of all the videos in the series. So if you share it, it'll be easier because you can find it on your wall, or it'll go in your memories. We'll also be putting these videos up on YouTube. So thank you if you're joining me with YouTube. These are initially appearing on Facebook, and I'm not putting it on YouTube until we're done here. So. Oh, I'm seeing a comment from Gay Mooney Lee. She says, "Good morning from Haltom City, Texas. You are near me. Ordered my loom and it's out for delivery now." I remember doing this when I was a little girl. Yeah, this is so fun. And the CindWood loom is honestly my favorite, because the other looms, the metal ones, they have such short pegs, and these just, they hold on for days. They're not going anywhere. You can set this down and know it's not going to be popping off there. I mean, you have to physically make it do that. I'm going to just clean up this a little bit. You get those extra straggler pieces, just trim them off with some nice sharp scissors. The ones you save in your house and you yell at people not to touch. Or you're like me and you hide them in things so that people can't find them. Isn't that fun? So this is what we're coming up with, and then I'm going to continue going, and I will also show you at the end a reminder how to finish it off. Good morning, everyone joining us. Hi, Brenda. Hey, Alicia. This is not a sponsored video, just so you know. I just love this loom. And I think it's a fun one for the holidays. I'll kind of tell you, if you're new to this video today, this series, they really are great for kids at the holidays, but even like making items for friends. Really, it ends up working out to be about $5 or $5 US, a pot holder. And they're really like a trivet size. Like, I've got very large hands. You can see how big this is. This is nice. The other ones are very tiny. So they're about 7.5 inches squared once they come off of the loom. You can see the shrinkage that it has. It's really not much. Let's do this so you can see that better. Sorry, I didn't realize I may have been pulling the camera. Sorry about that. And again, you can use this tool here to pull them through, but this pot holder and these loops are just so thick. I think it's easier just to pull it through with my fingers. I think kids would agree too. It's easier with your fingers, if you're able. Good morning, Carol. Hi, Mary. So we have a few more in the series. There is also another plaid that we're going to do with two colors, and it has a bigger look, but the plaid is kind of more condensed and has a little bit of a checkered, a little bit of solid, and so we're going to be working on that soon. And the other ones that I've got are not plaid at all. And they start giving a bit of a different texture and pattern, kind of like, you know, doing something like this. So it looks like little small patterns other than checkerboard, which is, I think, is really kind of cool. The yarn I'm using is not actually yarn, it's a cotton loop, and it's going to be fire and flame retardant. So any natural things like, well, not all naturals, but cotton and wool is going to not melt under the high heat of a pot. And these are continuous loops. Just think of like the band of someone's arm, like a long sleeve, and then it's just clipped. So these are made in just one long continuous loop, and then the manufacturer cuts them, or one long continuous sleeve, and then it like that. And of course you could make some if you have a you know, some kind of Addy knitting machine or something, and make a continuous loop. I'm not sure which sheet machine you would use to make that, but you can also cut loops yourself. You could sew together a round sleeve out of cotton and then make all the cuts yourself. There's different ways you can do it. And again, you can purchase them like I did, which is what I like to do because I get a variety of color. And I got these at I got these online on CindWood. I did not select my colors, but from all the packages I got, I bought 4 packages, which have enough to make 2 pot holders, and then I split up all the colors and made up my own designs and kind of planned it out. So I picked these colors out from what I got. All right, one more. This is a little bit tight, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one. All right, so we are going under here. Let's go ahead and pull that on through. Erin says she's never seen this pattern on a pot holder. It's so pretty. Yeah, I agree. I really like it. And I like how these colors turned out. The double blue, and if this coral was a yellow, this would be my sorority colors. We were double blue and gold. Yeah, Alpha Z Delta. So that is it. So I'm going to start taking this off, and I think it turned out really well. It has this kind of ribbony stripe look to it. I'm always curious because it always, to me, it looks slightly different when it's on the loom, and then when it comes and condenses in, you can really see that that pattern tighten up, and you can really, it looks more checkered when it's pulled in, I believe. So we'll see. It's one of those optical illusion pieces. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab one loop and just going to go down through the next loop. Grab that, and we're going to start hooking. Just hooking one loop over another. This is the part with the kids, just depending upon their ages, that you may have to get adult involved. It can also be used with the fingers, but I suggest if little hands need to be put down, excuse me, to use the restroom or something like that, that you take the loop that you've been working and just simply just put it back on the loom. If you're like, I've got to step away, don't leave it just hanging out, because then this will pop out and it'll be a mess. I talked about tension last week and hooking them back on the loom, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like. I'm just going to pull one of the strands over to kind of keep this on, and I'll fix that tension later. And we just go on to the next one. Just, there's nothing special, even though there's a space here. Just keep going. So one end is going to be two-tone, and then the other two ends will be solid. Yep, drop that. And the hook I'm using does not come with the loom. This is a Tunisian crochet hook. So it's long, kind of like a knitting needle. And the end actually looks like a knitting needle. And I like it because I've got a little bit more length if I have to pull it through these long strands, and kind of like it with my big hands. All right, pull this. So I'm keeping the tension, so when I get over here, it's going to keep all these loops on in a nice tension. And then, yes, it's stretching that out, but I'll be able to fix it. So I'll show you that soon. I'm pulling, see, I've got one of these loops, it's light colored over here. I don't want to use the same one on the opposite side, so I'm just choosing to pull one down here, because I don't want to overstretch that one that one continuous loop of a color. Okay, so now you can see that I'm on my last side, but it's maintaining this nice tension here, so these aren't just kind of floating off. Nearly done. Stick with me. Hi, Courtney. I see you popping on. Hi, Chris. Thank you so much. Oh, Chris and Kristen. Thank you. Oh. That has got a strand I don't like. Trim that up. All right, last one. Woohoo! All right, now I'm gonna take these off. They're a little messy. Let's fix them. All right, so this is my last one here. I'm gonna go ahead and play with the first one that I messed with. Just kind of get it back in there. I'm gonna fix this last loop in just a moment. Before I do, I wanna do this. So I'm just playing with the tension of the sides and kind of stretching out these loops so that they're even again. So this is one other part of that loop, and it got pulled a bit. Okay, so that corner's good. That's good. Okay, so you can choose to keep this loop, right? And that's for hanging things, or you can do what I do and fish it back through. So the loop that is here, it's coming from it's coming from going to the inside of this one. So I'm going to go back through the same fabric that this belongs to. So I'm just going through this part here, and I'm just going to pull the loop through like that. Okay, so it's kind of like knotting on itself a little bit, and you can, again, you can keep that. That will secure this a bit more and use that for hanging, or you can start pulling it through here, the other loops on the corners here. So like I'm just gonna find another spot to go through and continue pulling it on through. You don't have to be so technical with it. Like, oh, did I pull it at the exact same spot she did? No, you're probably not going to, because it's really hard to see. But what I do is I try and hide it on the same color that it matches, and go underneath the other colors. Okay, and then when I get down to the very end, I'll try to only go through maybe half of it, like kind of splitting it. It's kind of like when you're splitting yarn at the very end of when you're weaving your tails in. It's nice to just split that yarn, and then it kind of holds it in better. So there it is. Do you like my 3-colored small plaid? It's kind of like a little checkerboard. And so we have our large plaid we did last week, and then we have the houndstooth or pinwheel or hopscotch, as some people call, and then the weave. And we will be making more as the weeks to come. I've got at least, I think I've got 4 or 5 more. And I even did, not sure if you guys want to know, with some scrap yarn, how to make something like this. Is just this is just a tissue, but if you wanted to make an on-the-go napkin ring holder, I just kind of laced together the sides and stuff. So this is making a rectangle. Yeah, so you could take this on a little picnic. So this was just the leftover yarns that I had, and if I do this one, I'm going to be working with 2 colors that I have left, which is just the red and blue. So if you only have 18 colors left after you've pilfered and made all these designs, that's what I made with it. So if you're interested, write napkin ring holder. This would actually be great for picnics, because then you can stick everybody's napkins in there. I know this is like a tissue. Let me get a better one. But you could put the napkins in there, and then they wouldn't fly away in the wind, or your paper towels or whatever. So little holders for everyone, and it's cotton and it'll wash. So yeah, it could be a coffee cup sleeve, but honestly, this is like way too thick for it. And so you would need a different loom to make something longer, or stitch 2 of them end on end. So it's really not like a sizable thing, but this would work really well for this, or for a young person's, like a big wrist band, but my hands are way too big for that. Anyway, all right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you again for joining me at GoodKnit Kisses, where we stitch our love and love our stitches. Bye, everyone.